She came down here.
Am I in it?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi.
No.
My name's Elisa. I'm here with
Fabio Frank.
Fabio Frank. Do you need to move closer?
No, I need to move back. Okay.
And we're here at Occupy Wall Street, and we're going to ask a few questions. So how long have you been here? Once every couple days?
I come here 2 times a week, 2 or 3 hours.
Okay.
I'm a part-time protester.
Okay. Part-time protester.
So my focus is to bring the idea of privilege into the protest movement. You notice Occupy Wall Street says 1% have all the wealth or whatever. I say all the privileges to everybody. That's my focus. Now, I say privilege is the elephant in the room no one talks about. Protest movements like Occupy Wall Street, protest movements like Occupy Wall Street, Marxist-Leninist groups, religious liberation theology groups against white skin privilege or male privilege, to me, are all attempts to understand privilege in our own way. Just like we filming it are trying to understand privilege in our own way. Now, what is privilege? Privilege is the unequal exchange of labor time. There are different definitions of it, but that's my definition I choose to use. Now, what would a movement against privilege consist of? It would consist of talking about privileges. We talk about term limits. You notice the protest movement doesn't talk about term limits. Unions don't talk about term limits. Nonprofits don't talk about term limits. Why? They all want to stay in power. And to me, if you're serious about fighting the powers that be, you have to talk about term limits because it diversifies your leadership. It builds a big bench of leadership.
That's so true.
I talk about public.
Have you talked to anyone else about this? Because it feels like you have like a set idea and they're just like not really structured.
Well, you know, what happens is I have severe chronic fatigue syndrome, so I spend thousands of hours on my stuff because when you're sick, that's what you do. You know, you can spend a lot of time thinking and reading and stuff. So this represents thousands of hours worth of something. So that's why I'm 61 also. It is. I've been investigated by the FBI. I was active in the Vietnam War era. I did political work in the military. So I spent time in jail, etc. So I'm a serious political activist. I really want to ask you.
Yeah.
The protest movement doesn't think much of these ideas. Now, in all those public political work and secret political work, John Carlos from the 1968 Olympics, he was down here speaking, and he met the Black Power salute guy. During the Olympics, he was kicked out of it after he won an event that had the Black Power salute.
Oh, really?
He mentioned 2 weeks before the Olympics, the Mexican government killed hundreds of activists at a rally. They didn't know that morning they were going to die that afternoon. It's a very famous massacre. You can look it up on your Google. And what happened was, you never know when systems of privilege think that your time is up. They're going to repress you. So all mature political groups, in my opinion, split into public and secret political. When I was in a communist group, they asked me in the 70s if I wanted to be public or non-public because they were going to split. And I said I was arrested so many times it didn't make sense for me to be secret.
Yeah.
And I stayed public. So, you know, I tell people this is general political education. You're talking mature political theory. Now, class struggle is just an intellectual name for privilege. Class warfare is just an intellectual name for privilege warfare. See, now you can get this in your video also.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
for a second, look at the chanters.
I'm looking at them. They're dressed in their garb.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
There's an element here that wants to get busted.
Yeah, I feel like
It's just like they're I feel like doing it to like just like.
See, I'm more of a termite. I really want to undermine the system. So by talking about privileges, I really want to undermine it. If you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah. I really like your viewpoint on that.
Someone did a YouTube video of me of class warfare as privilege warfare, which is not as good as when I first came here. But Karl Marx said the class struggle is the motor force of history. I always memorize that because motor force means important. Now, what is the class struggle? It's really the struggle over privileges. Okay, and if you want to put something scientific into it, we can make a little bit of science in that. Einstein says the speed of light. Einstein says the speed of light is the same in all directions, and I say privilege is the same in all directions. Bad. Now, I just want to say one thing. When you have these groups protesting, like Occupy Wall Street, they're all basically, even Marx-Leninist groups, they're all for more merited type privileges. They may think this is just imperialism is unfair, etc., etc. I'm more utopian. I think a brain surgeon or a street sweeper should make the same amount of money. Would be considered utopian protest. I think all privileges are bad and people should be equal. All these groups like Occupy Wall Street wants a fair, kinder wall.
Put your money where your mouth is and protest!
See, people like that. But if you're talking about privileges,
luxury resort!
privileges.
We're all here because we're angry!
Oh yeah, get it for your class. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Why aren't you joining us?
It's just like to me.
Somebody was just arrested for square dancing!
I'm like really big on
Wow. Protesters turning against protesters.
Vietnam War. I'm not. You know, I was taught make war privileges. I come from a war background. I try to be FBI.
Yeah.
You know,
Because I think, like, I just like love peaceful kind of protests where you're just like,
not me.
I don't know. No.
I'm more like I said. The FBI. Well, what happens is if you know friends who haven't registered for the draft. But in my time, you know, you were sent to jail. Right now, what they do is they send you a notice saying, here's the website. You know what the penalties are. Here's the code, your ID code. Just register, and everything is going to be fine. During my time, the Vietnam War.
No, my dad
time to
is
leave now.
64 years old, and he was
I'm 61.
Yeah, he was in the Coast Guard in Philadelphia. So the only reason why he didn't go to Vietnam was because he was in the Coast Guard, and like the person who was in charge of the group in Philadelphia like just didn't pull his group in. But like I understand he's from that era. My dad is like about like has a lot of the same ideas you do about like a utopia kind of society, and I appreciate it.
Yeah. Like I said, I found out about privileges by reading a book about Russia called Class, K-L-A-S-S, where it discussed the Communist Party got paid in gold rubles, where you shop where the diplomat shop, and the regular Russians got paid in regular rubles, where you shop with the 99 cents, you know, the shoddy Russian goods. And he talked about healthcare, housing, and I said, let me bring this
Well,
idea of
this was an
privilege
exclusive
into the
video
protest
from
movement.
Occupy
And
Wall
I didn't
Street.
realize the protest movement would give me so much pushback and ignore that idea. You know, and then I said, maybe I'm not explaining this privilege, you know,